Hey, what's going on, guys? Andrew here, and today we're going to be talking about one of the hottest sectors on the market right now, which is going to be the cannabis sector. We're going to be talking about some of the hottest stocks like SNDL, their earnings, and we're going to be doing technical analysis on SNDL, TLRY, and ACB. Now, my last video did really well when I did technical analysis on AMC, GameStop, and a couple other stocks. So, of course, if you guys enjoy this, make sure you leave a like and also subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, but other than that, let's get into the video. Now, disregard all these lines. It's going to go into the technical analysis in a little bit once we talk about ACB. But as you can see, back at the end of 2017, in the beginning of 2018, they had this huge boom, and all weed stocks have been on a super bad decline ever since. As you can see, this was peaking out at around $140, and now it's sitting at about $10 right now. If we go to TLRY, it's basically the same thing. Back in 2018, just had a huge peak to over $300, and it's less than 90% of that value right now at under $30. Now, ever since that spike in 2017 to 2018, people have not wanted to buy these cannabis companies. One, because they're way overpriced due to the spike, and two, because they still have problems with legalizations around the United States. Now, one of the big cannabis names that has been going around YouTube and, of course, just around Wall Street Bets and all of these forums has been SNDL or Sundial growers. Now, I'm not really sure what led to this huge spike in this specific company, but people started to like it, people started to buy it up, and it actually went to $4 from about 10 cents just a few months ago. Now, the volatility and price movement is what us traders like to see, and we want to be able to make a quick buck off of it, so I'm going to show you guys my levels on the chart right now. But first, SNDL actually had earnings today, and they beat their revenue by 15% this quarter. Now, if you haven't already followed Stock Talk Weekly, I definitely suggest that you do. He comes out with a lot of news and a lot of really good in-depth research, and he just tweeted that SNDL actually went from $60 million cash on hand on the 31st of December last year to $719 million cash on hand. So that is an increase of about $660 million of cash in just over 3 months, which is actually insane. Now, this not only is good for SNDL holders, of course, because their company is doing really well and they're managing their cash really well, but it's also going to be good for other cannabis company holders because they're going to start getting a sympathy run like TLRY up 2% after hours and ACB up 1.6%. So I did end up plotting this whole chart because it's pretty small on the daily. As you can see, this company went public back in 2019, so it's very young and very new, but we're going to be taking a closer look at these recent levels because they're more important to us, and of course this is where all the volume comes from. So the first level I want to take a look at is going to be this 1.74 level. As you can see, it is our most recent rejection on this big bearish daily candle here. There was also a rejection here, and then previous support acted as resistance now, which is right here. And then if we also go back, we can see there was another big rejection here. So I want to see SNDL break that level with volume in order for it to make a next move up. And the only real resistance I can see between 1.74 and about 4 is going to be this level right here. As you can see, this is a bunch of support that is going to now act as resistance about 2.67, which of course if it does break out and get to that level, that's going to be almost doubling it, and that's going to be a really great trade if you manage to make that with this chart. Now, I'm definitely bullish on Sundial, but unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to break this 4 level anytime soon unless we get a huge news event because, as you can see, there's 3 big impulse rejections right here, and this day we had over $1 billion in volume, so it's going to take something huge in order for SNDL to break that. Now, some news that is going to be coming up tomorrow actually is a congressional marijuana banking bill, which basically protects the banks that want to lend to state legalized marijuana businesses. Now, it depends on how you look at this, but you could see this as bearish for these big marijuana companies because they're going to be more likely to lend to the startup marijuana companies, and that's going to bring in more competition. Now, this is going to help the cannabis sector as a whole anyways, and when a sector does well, usually the big names move well with it, and that's going to be SNDL, ACB, and TLRY. Now, the next stock that I'm going to be looking at from the cannabis sector is going to be ACB, or Aurora Cannabis. And if you look at my beautiful drawing right here, you can see that I believe we're going to be having an inverse head and shoulders forming, which is a bullish pattern, which is good for the cannabis bulls. As you can see, the first shoulder would be right here. Then we have the large head, which actually dips down further than the shoulder because it's an inverse. And then we have the left shoulder, or the right shoulder, excuse me, that could be forming right here. And if we do, we're going to see another move back up to 19 level, which would be about a 90% increase from the price it's at right now, which of course would be huge if you were investing long term or if you were buying just to trade. And on a smaller time frame, on the 15-minute right here, you can see it actually just broke a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern. So I think the next resistance that we're going to be looking at is around this 12 area, which of course is still going to be about a 15% increase from the price right now. So it's in a good spot. Ideally, if you were trading this, you'd want to get in at around the support near 8, which is our longer term support if we went back out on a larger time frame. But of course, if you're investing, this is never a bad price. It's in a really good spot to go test this 19 level again. Now, the last one is going to be TLRY, and TLRY has actually been going the craziest recently out of all the cannabis stocks because it's had a bunch of news come out recently. But as you can see, it went from 67 and it's faded all the way down to about 28 right now in the post market. Now it's sitting just between a support and resistance level. We have support at 1820 and resistance at about 31. So if it can break this 31 level with some good volume, I think we'll definitely test 34.5. As you can see, it's previous support right here acting as resistance. And I don't think we're going to test this 67 level anytime soon unless we get another major news catalyst that it had recently. But if we can break above 35, then it's definitely going to try and channel in here in between this support and resistance, which of course would be a really nice trade if you took it. Now, personally, my ideal entry is not right now because of this bearish rejection right here of this 31 level. If it does end up going all the way down to the low 20s to the high teens and bounces, that's going to be your ideal entry. Or if it does break out above this 34.5 level, then you can enter and play the breakout. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. I thought I'd just do some technical analysis because these cannabis stocks have been very hot recently and a lot of people have been trying to trade them. A lot of people are succeeding, a lot of them are failing, so I'm just trying to give my input. Of course, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. SNDL is a penny stock. These stocks are extremely volatile, so don't put money in that you can't lose unless you are a long-term investor. Now leave a comment down below what your thoughts are on the cannabis sector. Do you think it's going to continue to perform well? And do you think that they are going to get the legalization throughout the states that every investor is looking for? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing technical analysis more often. And of course, I do my Neo videos and my news videos around the market. But that's going to be it for this one. And I'll see you guys in the next video.